What is going on, guys? I am Jay the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Once again, yes, I'm going to talk about these NBA players and how they just cannot take an L. I think that when some of these guys get into the league, they really think that the majority of these women really want them. They think that because they have that NBA status and, you know, these Instagram models are constantly getting with rappers and athletes, you know, they think that these women will give them a chance. Well, obviously not, because apparently an Instagram model by the name of Jaye Yellow Doll decided to put NBA player Dejounte Murray on full blast for not being able to take no for an answer. Not only is he in the DMs being thirsty, he created burner accounts and went back and was going at her using those burner accounts. You can tell this is a young man. You can tell this is a guy who's not used to women naturally getting attention from attractive women, even though he was dating a female who's attractive. Jilly, for those of you who know who she is. And a quick backstory on Jilly. I did a video about him and Jilly, right? I'll put a link in the description. I think I did a whole live stream on it. And their relationship, how they were dating each other. They had a YouTube channel together. Next thing you know, they break up, and then she posts some weird video of all the gifts he bought her to make up, because I think he had made some claims about her. Well, didn't hear much from them after that. Apparently, she went on and started dating Deshaun Watson. I truly believe she left him for Deshaun Watson, and he pretty much started dating NBA YoungBoy's baby mother, Jania. So you would think that if he's in it's a good story. He's moved on. You know, Jilly has moved on. That you will not hear anything from this guy as far as what you're going to hear in this video, especially from an Instagram model who herself has dealt with athletes, i.e. S.I.M.P.I.N. As a matter of fact, I made a video about her dealing with S.I.M.P.I.N. and how he, you know, basically left her to go back to his wife. And I truly believe that's why, okay, she probably no longer deals with NBA players, because how badly she got burnt in that particular situation. No pun intended. So you got Dejounte in an injury situation early in his career, which is not good. You know, he's not really putting up the points. He's not making that much of an impact, and this is exactly why these guys, their careers just doesn't work, you know, the way it should. Now, I'm not saying that he can't be a good player. What I'm saying is, bro, you're not focused. You're not focused. And the posts that this female is putting up are very damaging, because it makes you look weak. It makes you look like you can't take no for an answer, you know, and you're getting clowned by her, disrespected. You have to understand, bro, that these females use athletes in order to boost themselves up. They use these rappers in order to boost themselves up. Dejounte, you're a young man. You have a whole life and career ahead of you. You already struck out in a relationship with Jilly, okay? I'm assuming we're dating Jania. I don't know why you'd want to date her, but I mean, you were dating her. Obviously, that hasn't worked out to the point to where you're now in the DMs begging for attention from her, when she probably wants nothing to do with pro athletes anymore. Again, just like I said before, she, you know, got left. She got curved by J.R. Smith. And ever since then, I don't think she's dealt with athletes like that. And you got to remember, these women don't love these athletes. They love what these athletes can do for them. That's the difference. But these guys don't know the difference, because they are so used to getting attention off of their, you know, them being, you know, basketball players. This is why Carmelo desperately wanted to get back into the league, because he loved the lifestyle of being an NBA player and being seen as an NBA player. and being able to walk around town, people know who you are, people actually care about who you are, you know, to be a big deal. And I think that you got a lot of these guys, man, they just don't understand that these females just don't care, bro. They don't care that you're in the NBA. You know, they're gonna treat you just like all these other thirsty dudes who go in the DMs and try to get their attention. That's how they're gonna treat you. And you have to understand the difference. And you're being put on full blast. Me looking at these messages, man, I just shook my head, because here you have a female, okay, who's probably has some sugar daddy that takes care of her. You know, she got burnt by, you know, J.R. Smith, and probably no longer deals with pro athletes like that. Or she's probably has a boyfriend, quote unquote, even though she didn't mention it in her messages, because she probably doesn't have one. Once a side chick, always a side chick. You know, and just because you're putting Dejounte on blast does not mean that doesn't make you look bad, because I'm pretty sure you have other DMs of guys who you go back and forth with, and you will never put them on blast because you're hoping that maybe they'll make you their side piece. Dejounte is a guy who, again, is young. He needs to focus on his career. You're striking out on these women. Listen, this is what these guys should do. Focus on your career. Stop DMing these chicks. If they say no, keep it pushing, man. Take it as an L. Because let me tell you this. If you hit her up in the DMs and you realize that she's not interested in you, or she says no, just leave the conversation. Even if she was to put you on blast, all it's going to say is that you tried to holler, she wasn't interested, and you stopped communicating with her. But you have these guys, man, they can't take no for an answer. They have that simp in them. Okay, you got the simp that's going to pander. You got the simp that's going to beg. This dude out here begging for box. He's begging for attention from these females who don't care about you, bro. She has other NBA All-Stars in her DMs, bro. Former All-Stars. Just because you're there and you play in the NBA, she probably don't even know you. Because trust and believe, if she actually knew of you, because she probably doesn't watch sports, she probably listens to other people talk, or, you know, she look at online chatter about, you know, who's the best player in the NBA. If she had known of you, she probably would have treated you differently. This is why J.R. Smith was able to have her as a side piece. You know, and you can't even get her to go on, you know, not to go on a date, but to respond positively to your DMs. You got to understand that. And these guys are so used to women saying yes, they're not used to women saying no. They're not used to getting curved. They're not used to these women not being interested. Bro, these females don't care that you're in the NBA. Do you know how many other dudes are trying to slang Dizzy on them? You know? You're not the only one. You're not the only one, Dejounte, but this is definitely an L. This is an L, bro. And this is why red pilling a lot of these guys is very important, because they out here making themselves look bad and they don't even know why. And what's truly sad is that he's probably going to end up with a good girl who he's gonna treat like, you know, not very well. And it's going to be due to his interactions with the women that he dealt with previously. But again, this is your decision. You did this to yourself, bro. This female Jaye, she's not going to be nobody's wife. She's a forever side piece. That's who she is. She's trying to build a brand off of dating rich men who don't even claim her publicly. That's her life. And that's the life of other women like her. So they're going to take these opportunities to put y'all on blast, to build themselves up, to make it seem like all these different guys want them. But I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a lot of people who are not even going to know who Dejounte is. They're not even going to know they're not going to know who he is, man. They're not going to know who he is. They like, Dejounte Murray, who was that? You know, I bet that's what people was wondering. Like, okay, does he play in the NBA? What team does he play for? They don't know who he is, man. They don't know who he is, man. This is why, again, deal with women who want to deal with you. Stop. I mean, again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be aggressive and pursue women who may not be initially interested, because she could change her mind. But if a woman says no and you keep it going, that makes you look bad. Then you go and then you get burner accounts, bro. I can understand if it's a situation where you're pursuing her and she starts to show interest more and more. This female got more and more upset. Not interested, but upset. And you gotta take no for an answer. No for you have to. If she says no, you have to take that answer, because obviously you can't take no for an answer. Again, you want to be aggressive, you want to pursue women who may not be interested at first, go do so. But obviously there's nothing there's nothing about this female that I would risk public embarrassment over. Just isn't. She's not that attractive for me to go all out to try to get her attention. To me, she looks very average and basic. And we don't even know if them curves are natural. Because again, some of these chicks' bodies are looking very similar. She probably has a good doctor. I'm pretty sure she has a good doctor. You out here looking bad over an artificially built female, okay, who probably was the ugly duckling in high school. And once she was able to afford or have somebody sponsor getting work done, she did so. She did so. And also, I want y'all to understand, this chick has I believe she's a single mom as well. And she can't humble herself to where, you know, not to be a side piece. You know, she couldn't even humble herself enough to find a man who actually wants to be with her. Not an athlete that just wants to sleep with her. But that is the life that she wants to pursue. And that is what a lot of other women are doing as well, unfortunately. And they wonder why they can't find a man who really appreciates them.